Hey everybody, it's Michael Bryson and Gregory Ulysse for This is Bodybuilding with our review of the 2023 Arnold Classic. What you think, Greg?
It was an amazing show. For a show that started 2 months ago as the one of the lousiest Arnold ever, ended up being one of the best we had.
Yeah, I agree. The lineup at first seemed like it was going to be super tiny and no real big names, but
No,
then when they raised that prize money up to 300,000. You had like Rami jumping in, Nick Walker jumping in. It became something exciting.
yeah, and remember, even in the beginning, you had two people that got out. Blessing got out, and
Right,
Charles Griffin left. You know,
right, right. Yeah, it seemed
that's what
like,
it
oh
is. Yeah,
wow, but no, they were replaced by bigger names and
yeah,
higher
yeah. Bigger,
higher
better
ranked
names.
guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's talk about the men's open first. We'll go through the lineup there, the placings. In 10th place, which is last place, unfortunately, for this
No.
show, because there's only 10 guys, was Patrick
Okay.
Moore. What do you think about Patrick?
You know what? From what I heard, he did a 7 week prep. You know, and he came back from his Achilles tendon injury. Patrick looked good, but Patrick, even though he he took a year off, it's Patrick. You know, great upper body, humongous arms, but the legs were not, as you know, not up par, probably because of the injury. But his condition wasn't as sharp as he was when he got 10th at the Olympia in 2019.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I mean, I think that's a serious injury to come back from, torn Achilles, and legs were never like legs could always have been a little bit bigger for him. Never were not a super weakness, but now they are downsized. I think for his upper body, that needs to
Mm.
come up a bit. But in truth, I think his whole body, he just needs more size in general,
Oh
um,
yeah, yeah.
and his conditioning. It wasn't horrible or anything, but it was just like he kind of set standards high for himself with that 10th place in the Olympia. Was that 2019?
2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
If he gets there again and adds some more size, he'll do better. But yeah, short prep, coming back from a big injury. And I think, it was not something to be embarrassed by. It was a good showing.
no, and from what I'm hearing, he's gonna do the California Pro in 12 weeks, so that probably gonna give him more time to be better
Which
in
show
12
was
weeks.
it?
California Pro.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
that's good. Yeah, some time to get better. In ninth place, we had Kamal Elgarne,
Yes.
former 212 Olympia champion. What you think about him?
You know what? Kamal, it's rare. Kamal's condition wasn't good at that for himself.
For him.
Like you could see, like from the back, he's always hard from the back, but from the back, his loose hands and back was not as sharp. And in the lineup like that, he had to be 100% because the lineup was so strong that he didn't have any margin of error, and that cost him like a lot of placing.
Yeah. And I felt like, I don't know if it's age fine. I mean, he's 52 years old, looks amazing for someone 52. He looks amazing for someone 42. But
Yeah.
the legs, I think, were not quite what they used to be. And also the shape of his back in the back lat spread looks a little, I don't know. I don't know if he's starting to become diminished with
It,
age. I'm not
it
sure.
it could be. It could be. You know what? I was going to say that, but let's wait when he gets in shape to see what it is. Because once he
Yeah,
gets in shape, then we're gonna see exactly the disparities. But it could be. But I want to
it
give him
could
that.
be.
From what it could be. It could be. It could be.
I wouldn't be,
Could
but I'm
be.
not, yeah, I wouldn't write him off just yet because I mean, he was so
No, no,
strong.
no, no, no. Let's wait. No, no.
In eighth place, we had Justin Rodriguez. What you think?
Justin was big. He was big, but you know what? Justin has done too many shows.
Yeah,
Too many shows. Too many shows. I think probably should take a 6 months to a year. Probably stop it because last year looked great last year. And this year wasn't as good as it did last year at the Arnold last year.
yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I think last year, as the shows went on, he got
He went
worse. And
yeah.
then this show here, it was not better than he was at his worst last year, in my opinion. And I think it's
No.
because he's done so many shows now. There was only 3 months between the Olympia and this show. If I were him, and I would consider not doing another show this year and just coming back next year.
Yeah,
Um,
because remember last year he lost against Antonio Burton last year, the last
mm,
show he did. You
yeah,
know, so I was like, if he loses against Antonio, it's a great bodybuilder, but in that lineup, it's gonna be hard.
yeah. Because when Justin is on, if he was sharp, I mean, he could have placed very well in the show. I mean, he's got tools. Um, I just think he looks a little tired.
No, it's hard. I mean, because when he's on, he's good. But that one, you know, in the lineup like that, he had to be on because the guys before him are very, very good.
Yeah. In seventh place, we had William Bonac. Kind of surprised.
You know, William, you know what? William didn't look at the William of old, you know. And now this photo that came out, like, you know, like he did certain things, you know, and it wasn't the William of old. It wasn't. And probably him too, probably he needs to be like to shut it down for a while, then come back later. Because I don't think he's done, but probably is that probably like nearing the end, let's say. But that wasn't a good uh William. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, when he came out by himself Friday at first, I was like, ooh, you know, he looked hard and he looked separated and everything, and um, I did think his shoulders looked a little off to
Yeah,
me,
off, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I think that may have gotten him dinged a little bit by the judges. Uh, you know, he's still got a great physique, and his back double bicep is still good, but it's not what it used to be. There's not quite that fullness there. I feel like he's still a very dangerous bodybuilder, but you know, he's not like 2016, 2017 William,
No, 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 no,
who would
no.
have
It's not the
just
same.
steamrolled over the show, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably, yeah, probably. You know what? And now, and from what I heard, Chad did not want to push that prep so hard.
I did hear that, yeah.
So yeah, so probably that's what, you know, like, you know, so I'm thinking he needs a rest. You know, he need a rest, come back, regroup, you know.
Yeah.
And there's so many shows during the year now.
Maybe do a show later in the year or
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah. Probably
like
something
Texas
or no,
or
probably
later.
something Texas or later on the tempo. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, right in front of him at number 6 was Akeem Williams. What you
you know,
think?
Akeem looked good. Akeem looked
Yeah.
good. Akeem looked improved. Akeem looked good. You know, he looked better at the Olympia. His condition's not like 2020 when he got sick at the Olympia, but he's getting there. But the thing with him, you know, you know that once he's able to fix the problem he has, this guy can be winning shows like that easy.
Yeah. He's a monster. Just yeah, I just think that the condition level still not quite that next level that it needs to be at to beat
No,
these guys or
no,
to place amongst the top 3 or 4. But man, he's a monster. His arms are incredible. His legs from the side look great. He's huge, but yeah, it just not quite there, I think, yet for him.
no, no, no. Because
But
you got guys on top who were conditioned to the max. You know.
yeah, but he was improved. I agree from the Olympia.
Yeah.
Now we get to the top 5. I have some disagreements. Nothing that I'm like, oh, that's horrible or whatever about the top 5.
Okay.
My thing is, in 5th place, we had Sean Clarita, the giant killer, on stage, I think, at 181 pounds,
Yeah.
5'2". Um, my problem, I'm going to say it right out, is that like on Friday night, there was only a 3-point difference between him and Big Ramy, who placed 4th. But yet they never even compared them on Saturday. Like I just felt like that there needed to be a top 5 comparison there. And to me, Sean, I had him beating Ramy pretty. I mean, you know, I'm not sitting in the judge's seat or right behind the judges. I wasn't even there. I'm watching on big screen TV.
Okay.
I thought Sean had Ramy. I mean, just based on proportions, conditioning. Of course, he doesn't have that size, but I think that Ramy still, his proportions to me are wacky. Like his legs, that people talk about him having the best quads. Some people have been commenting on my page. I'm like, he's got the biggest quads, but there's no separation there. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen him compared more closely to Ramy in the second night.
You know what? Sean to me looked amazing. You know, he did the best he could with what he had, and he has a lot.
Mhm.
And honestly, you know what? Nobody would have complained if Sean would have passed Rami. But people will tell you it's the size difference. I mean, we're talking about 100 pounds, you know, even though in my book, Sean has a lot more going, but the sheer size of Rami, and Rami looked better at the Olympia. He looked a lot better. And he looked better on Saturday than Friday. Because if you look at the scores, it was closer between him and Sean on Friday and Saturday. And probably on Saturday, he got ahead, but nobody would complain that if Sean would have been. And to me, Sean was probably one of the standouts of the show.
Yeah, I
Easy,
agree. I mean,
easy.
and he was only up like 3 or 4 pounds from the Olympia. It wasn't like he put on a ton of size. He doesn't need to, but he kept that those. What's great about this is that he's still so below the 212 weight limit that he can put on another 3 or 4 pounds for the Olympia, still be 212, keeping these proportions because he kept his proportions wonderfully for this show. Um, I don't see anyone beating this guy in the 212 anytime soon, man. He's
No, me,
something
you know what?
special.
I mean, he did the Open, which is great. Because he could probably win shows in the Open, like some shows, maybe not those.
Oh,
But
yeah,
to me now, it just cemented the fact that unless he gets injured or gets ill,
yeah,
that 212 is his for a long time.
yeah. And
Because
you
there's no
know,
one close to him.
like I said, I wasn't there. Rami definitely did improve on. You could tell just by watching TV that Rami was better on Saturday night than he was on Friday night, and maybe that was enough. You know, they came out and they did their individual things before they got rejudged on
Rejudge
Saturday,
him.
and the judges could have just been like, okay, yeah, he's clearly fourth.
Yeah,
I would like to have seen him included in a top five call out because I think um, he has things over Rami like proportions and balance and symmetry and all that stuff. Um, he just gives up size, but everyone gives up size to Rami. So I don't know.
right. That's what. Yeah, yeah. So that's what it is. But like you, I mean, nobody will complain if he got a fourth. If Sean would
Yeah,
have got fourth, and but to me, Sean was one of the stand of the show, even with stiffness. Easy.
yeah, I agree. I mean, just that a guy his size and height, could go toe to toe with those people. I mean, he beat William Bonac. He beat
Yeah.
he beat a so we talk about size. He beat a humongous Akeem. So
Yeah, yeah.
he's got it all, man. I'm really impressed with him. And if he puts on 3 pounds a year, he'll be winning like big open class shows. I think if he
Oh,
wants to.
he could. But to me, the one thing I liked is when they compared him to Rami. So it brought us back to Flavio and Lou in '93 at the Olympia. But the same thing happened. They compared the biggest guy with the smallest, smallest guy, and it looked great. Because
Mhm.
it's a disparity. I mean, because you could see that they're both great in their own worlds. You know?
Yes, yeah, and interesting about Rami for like the past few shows, he's had that divot in his quad.
Yeah.
It was gone. How does that disappear? Stem cells cured that muscle, or did they fill it up with something else?
You know what I heard? It could be stem cells. It could be some fillers. But yeah, because one of the others. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, I
but
felt, and this is me, and I don't know what I'm talking about. And some people get on here and say they want to kick my ass maybe afterwards because I'm saying something bad about him. But to me, his delts too, like there's no striations, he flex whatever, no change in those delts. To me, they look like big balloons, and I've often thought that about Rami throughout the years. But I thought at the show he looked, I don't know, I don't know.
no, no, it's okay. It's okay. You know
I would
what? The
have had
thing is,
him. I would have had him below Sean for certain
yeah, yeah,
reasons.
yeah. Okay, and you know what? Okay. Yeah, I understand both sides. I would like, for myself, I would have loved Sean to have slayed the biggest giant. But then I understand on the other side, like, you know what? Remember when Rami on Friday, when Rami was put in the middle, they put it on to the side right away. So it didn't have a chance to be compared with the other guys. And I don't know, somehow on Saturday night, right there, they put him in the top four. So probably they saw something during the posing round or whatever, and they got him back in, you know?
Yeah,
But Rami right now, I think the problem is with Rami now his legs are really too big. They're already humongous. Now it's too big. So there's a disparity between his upper and lower body now, worse than before.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Worse
And
than
that
before.
would have been
Worse.
to me that for years I've been saying that's the one thing he needs to correct, and he would be killing everybody. But like now it got worse. So I don't know. He's a freak. People reward freaks, I guess,
Oh yeah, yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
And I don't know.
But on a
Speaking of
positive for Rami, he looked better than the Olympia. A lot
absolutely,
better.
absolutely, there's still a little flatness in the tricep, but it's not nearly as bad. Like there was,
No,
he was fuller. They did things better,
better,
different,
better.
whatever it worked for him. Um,
'Cause
I just don't know. The conditioning still wasn't, it was better, but it wasn't like
that
on
was
the level
better.
of the top three. Um, Going into the top three, I thought they were amazing, all three of them. Very different physiques, but all had incredible strengths.
Yes, yes.
What did
Andrew,
you, what did
Andrew,
you,
and you know what? Andrew is amazing in the sense that what he accomplished in 1 year.
yeah,
Andrew last year was winning Arnold Amateur. He got Texas. He got the Arnold. He got eighth at the Olympia, and now third in a very very tight show with no off season, nothing in a year. Uh, if this guy gets a year of working hard, everybody, and I mean everybody's in trouble. Everybody,
yeah,
everyone. I mean, this is when you talk about Olympia potential, that's a real Olympia potential.
yeah, for sure.
100%. There's not even no debate. No debate.
Last year it was a matter of each show we kept on. He won the Arnold. He won the amateur Arnold. He won the Texas Pro, and he went to um,
Arnold again.
the Olympia. Yeah, the other Arnold. Yeah, and we kept on thinking uh, maybe we're going to see. I had to see a change in the conditioning, and we never saw any real change in the conditioning. He's looked great though. He's got these great genetics. His front is amazing. This show, there was a difference in the conditioning, and I think that's from working with the Chris's, Psycho and Aceto, that made a big difference. I thought his conditioning was next level. Still from the back, it can still get better. It can still get better, but it was improved, and his front is just freakishly
I
freaky.
know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
the abs,
uh,
the
the
straightest,
abs,
the
the front. Oh yeah,
oblique.
the abs and thigh is
Wow.
the best. Front lat spread is amazing. The way his chest strikes and all that. You know what the thing is? He has some amazing shots,
Yeah.
like amazing pose, like the front double and all that amazing shots. So once he puts all of it together, and I think he found the right team to
Mhm.
do it. So we know for a fact he's going to win a show to get to the Olympia for sure. Whatever shoe goes in,
Mhm.
whatever shoe they pick, he's going to win. So we're going to see him back at the Olympia for sure. He's not qualified yet, but he's going to win a show during the year for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. He's very impressive. He poses so well as well. I mean, he's really really good. Second place was a guy who I had winning the show at prejudging, and I still would have. I thought he did enough to win the show. I don't have any like. I'm not angry about it at all, but I thought Nick Walker looked amazing in second place. What you think about Nick?
Nick looked great. Nick was better than Olympia. Nick looked amazing. The only thing with Nick, and I had, you know what, me on Friday, and the thing is on Friday, Andrew came out like a little, but at the end he finished strong. So I had Andrew winning in the Friday night, and I had what's his name? I had like a battle between Samson and Nick. Nick looked amazing. Nick looked amazing, and Nick does the best what he has. and he does it better than anybody else. I mean, people can talk about like his structure, but he's a freak. He has huge arms. I mean, huge arms and stuff. His back double bicep is the best of the show. His back lat spread too. The only knock I think was when he stood next to the two giants of Andrew and Samson. That's where you can see that his structure is not as good as these two. You can see
Right.
disparity from them, you know. So
Yeah.
that's probably what happened. And again, I mean, he has nothing to be ashamed about. I mean, he looked amazing, and he could have won that show. I mean, he could have won that show.
Yeah. As I was watching on Friday, I had Nick winning, and then I had a battle for second between Samson and Andrew, and I felt that it as the Friday night went on, Andrew was pulling ahead, and Samson
Yeah,
seemed to
yeah,
be fading. But I think
yeah.
part of the Samson fading wasn't necessarily maybe that he was, but I think his oil was not good, and I feel like that may have come off during the show while posing.
Yes, yes.
He just looked not as he wasn't popping like he was, and but on Saturday I felt it was between Nick and Samson. They're all, yeah. Nick for me, he doesn't need to have the best structure because it would help if his structure was better, but he can't really control that. You have what you
Yeah.
have. But muscularity wise, he won the most muscular award, the Franco Colombo most
Yes,
muscular
yes.
award, well deserved because he is jacked. I mean, his arms are freakish, unbelievable. Great definition, separation. His legs, to me, had more separation than the other guys, but the shape isn't as good. It's not as sweepy as the other two guys. But I just thought with his muscularity, he had enough to do it. Now, I will say that I have some things about his posing that, I think he could make more. He could do better if he hit certain poses differently. He's obviously married to this most muscular now, where he stands up straight and brings his fists together. But to me, when he's doing this pose, okay, I can see all the muscles, but he looks straight up and down. There's no
Yes, yes,
change.
yes. Roundness, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just straight up and down. And then these other guys who have such great shape, who shouldn't be winning a most muscular pose against him, are winning that pose. When he finally hits his crab, which he did only a couple times and towards the end and only for a second, where the other guys where the judge was already saying, okay, relax.
Yeah.
His crab most muscular is nasty, and yeah, I would make that his most muscular pose. How do you feel about his front double bicep?
You know what? He's the only guy that can hit a front double bicep and show the abs at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he crunches on his abs and when he does a front double, an amazing shot because his arms are humongous and
Yeah.
he has thick abs and everything looks great. Even though, yes, he has a long torso showing for his legs, but he's so muscular that you don't really see it. The only time you see it is when he stands next to guys like Andrew and Samson. By himself, you don't see it, you know? And his
Yeah.
condition was spot on. I mean, you know what? I can understand, like, because when he got second, he kind of looked kind of disappointed. And I can understand because he brought everything he had to bring, everything, you know?
Yeah.
And he got beat by someone who on that day was better and who has a lot of upside
It
and
does.
someone that can do a lot in the Olympics this year.
Yeah. I asked about the front double because I had a follower today talking to me about how he doesn't like his front double, that when he crunches down, he doesn't look as impressive because he looks smaller and blockier. I love when he does it because he's got such amazing deep etched abs.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's great. Yeah. So, and I think the reason I had him winning the show is even for Saturday night, I felt that he was winning both back shots and both side shots. And I couldn't say that Samson was definitely winning the other four over Andrew and him, but it is what it is. And I don't really, like I said, I have no complaints because Samson, now we can talk about Samson, is freaking phenomenal. The guy has got everything, every tool in the world, great size, structure, aesthetics, balance, flow. He's got it all. This guy could be the next guy. maybe not this year, but maybe this year. But I think he could have a run, like a run as champion, Mr. Olympia.
You know what? You know what? Uh, we're talking about the Olympia, like who's the next guy? Someone that came from the back of the pack, and that's Hansen.
It
And
is.
he's been going up and up and up. And right now, we can say that that guy is the challenger for the Olympia because
Right.
basically he has a lot of size, aesthetics, and he's totally different from Adi and from Derek. He's totally different,
Yeah.
but great at the same time. And
Yes.
right now, if if you realize we're in an era now of tall guys. We have Samson is a 6 foot tall guy. Andrew is 6 foot tall. And you're gonna have Crizzle 6 foot tall. Quinton is 6 foot tall. A lot of tall guys are coming in, so that
Who's
might change the landscape.
you said
Quinton,
Chris?
Quinton,
Oh,
no,
Quinton.
Crizzle,
Oh yeah, Quinton.
Quinton 6 foot tall. Now that
Yeah.
so, and that's coming in. So you know what? With all these tall guys, which we have never seen in bodybuilding, that could change everything. And the thing is with Samson, he's complete. He has no glaring weaknesses. Yes, his back can be better, but it's not bad.
No, right. And that's going to get better. It got better in the year.
Not bad.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's going to keep improving. And uh who's he with? He's with Milos, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
He
going to
looked
get
great on
better. He's
Saturday.
going to get better
He-
at a right
yeah.
pace. And he's not going to blow anything. His belly's going to stay in
No, no.
control. He's going to be an aesthetic monster. I mean, the guy's, I think he's close to 6'2". And
Yeah, he's very tall.
I think
Very
they
tall.
said he was 296 on stage or something like that.
From what I heard, they weighed him at 297
Okay.
during the week. So I presume probably on stage he was over 290 for sure,
Yeah,
which is very heavy, very big for
very
someone
big.
who looks like that. Oh yeah,
Right.
very big.
And what's interesting about him and Andrew too, but mostly with Samson by himself, because he's so aesthetic and proportioned so perfectly, you can't really tell how big he is until he's
Nope.
next to the other guys. And you're like, oh man, Big Rami's not that big compared to him. I mean, he's still bigger, especially in the quads, but
Oh yeah.
he's a huge man. And it's interesting when he won this show, the Arnold Classic, 6'2", about the same height as Arnold. And Arnold at his biggest on stage in an Olympia winning stage weight was 246. And now you have this guy who outweighs him 45, 50 pounds, the same height.
No. I mean,
Really shows
it's crazy. It's crazy.
the evolution of the sport's crazy. And he's harder than Arnold was.
Oh yeah. A lot. Well, and you know what? The thing with Samson is when we compare Samson to Andrew, Samson looks more complete.
Yeah.
And if you look, and I'm gonna shoot my word, Andrew looks kind of lanky. I mean, you know what I mean? Not lanky in the sense like he's not as thickly muscled as Samson.
Yeah.
When
And
it
I think
stands one beside the other.
there's certain things about Andrew's physique that add to that. Like he's got rather long arms, and he also doesn't have thick forearms. He's got amazing upper arms. The biceps are really nice. But he's got thin forearms. He's got thin calves, other than the amazing muscle belly he's just got high calves.
My cat.
The muscle belly is super round and huge, but it's just up top. And then he's got the long calf bone, that you eat it. So I think there's things that add to like a lankiness to him when you see him next to someone like Samson, who's got no holes really. He's filled everywhere. Samson's got the tools, man. It's impressive, and impressive how much he's improved at a rather fast pace.
Oh yes. I mean the way Andrew improved it's amazing because you know what? Because he has great stride at quads. His ab shot is amazing. I'm telling you, these two, Andrew and Samson, are gonna be battling for a long time in the
Yeah,
next year coming. Oh
I
yeah,
agree. I think
yeah.
this year coming up in the Olympia, if I had to say right now, I think the top four of this show, including Rami, and then Hadi and Derek Lunsford. I think that'll be our top six for the Olympia.
And you know what? I'm gonna say it now, and I love Brandon, but I don't think Brandon now can be Samson.
I don't think so. Not unless
No,
he puts his legs up and he brings his like a
no,
new level of conditioning. Um,
not
Samson,
now.
Samson is
No,
too.
no, Sam, too complete,
I
too
forgot about
complete,
Brandon.
and he also, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
forgot about
He's
Brandon.
too complete.
Brandon.
Ah, I
Brandon could.
forgot.
Yeah. Well, then that's my top
Now we
seven.
have, you see, now we have a guy who has aesthetics and who's bigger with legs.
Yeah. Right. Right. I mean, he's a complete unit. I think it was an amazing show. The top three was great. I'm nitpicking about like saying that I had Nick in first, but I think the judges, of course, had a better seats than me, and I'm sure they did a great job. I thought the judging throughout the show for all the divisions was pretty good for what I could tell.
To me, honestly, you know what? People for years have been complaining about the judging, but for the last year or so, they have had. I mean, rarely now do I see them having bad calls. They call the Olympia great. They call this show great. I mean, and they're finally judging what's in front of them.
Hmm.
Because everybody was saying Nick was winning, but they gave everybody a chance, and Samson won, and Samson deserved to win.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. There was only one division that I was kind of like, about, and that was bikini, but that uh, it's not something that I'm super strong with knowing what I'm looking at anyway.
Yeah.
But I saw some things that made me question certain things. But congratulations to Laura Lee. It's not really her placing that I'm was like about. It was some other things. But anyway, let's talk about classic physique.
Yes, 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 yes.
Another great show. There was only 7 guys in the show, but I think every single one of them looked incredible. They either were, everyone was conditioned terrifically. Mike Sommerfeld could have maybe been a little bit better with his conditioning, but he's got enough other tools. He did super well. In 7th place was Jason Brown, who is a great guy that I know. He's coached by our friend Justin Miller. He looked great. This is the best I've ever seen him.
Wow, yeah, I know. And you know what? He looked amazing. For real. I was like really impressed. And you know what? The whole class, I mean, the 7 guys looked amazing. I mean, from Urs to Ramon to Alex, all these guys look amazing. Condition wise was great. Oh yeah, all these guys. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if they were in the Olympia lineup, if you added the guys that weren't here from like the top 10 or whatever, these guys would probably all have made a top 10 of the Olympia.
Probably, yeah. For sure.
I mean, conditioning was great. And in sixth place was Junior Jaworski.
Yes.
He and Jason, I may have switched their placings. I don't know. He looked big. He looked good too. The conditioning was great. I don't know.
It could have flip flop. It could have flip flop between the two. Because I mean, Jason has like great body parts, so it could have flipped. I mean, it wasn't like it's not a robbery. It's not that, but it could have flipped between
No.
the two.
Yeah, I don't think there was any robbery that happened
No.
division or men's open. In 5th place was Courage Apara. Now, Courage, he's another guy who I think his condition could have been just a little bit better. He still looked great.
And you know what? Courage, you know what? He has amazing legs, amazing arms. I mean, great physique. Just as you said, just a little more condition. But you know what? He can win shows during the year because he has the tools to win. He was just in a lineup where guys, I mean, Ramon, Earth, Alex, Mike are top guys who don't miss much when it comes to condition.
Yeah. I think they were talking Fuad and others that were doing the commentating. Fuad and DJ.
DJ,
were saying about how his legs were so too big and overpowering. but he's also got arms that are very, very big. It
Yeah,
would be,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he does need a little more lat width. But I don't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where he stands in his weight cutoff. So I don't know if he can
I don't
add to
know.
his
I don't know.
size. And I'd hate to see him lose size in the legs because the legs look great and the arms look great.
No, I
But
mean, honestly, you know what? I think the legs help him a lot.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, a lot, a
I
lot.
wonder
So
if
he
he's
can do
close to
that.
if he's close to that limit, maybe he should go to 212. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know about that. Because you know what? Because to me, look, here's my thing with courage. Until he gets to that condition,
Hmm.
because I'm sure if he was conditioned like the other guys, it would be lower in weight, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't be close to cap.
yeah, you're
So
right.
to me, to me, the weight cap becomes a problem when you're Ramon. Ramon has
Yeah,
a problem now because now he's capped. Man, he has tough time doing making weight, and it's going to be harder as the years go by. So he's at that point. Earth close, but not because he has room to play. But Courage just needs to be more conditioned, and he's not in that. Am I going to make the weight kind of
yeah,
problem?
yeah. I think more condition, slightly more lat width. To me,
Mm-hmm.
he does very well for himself in the show.
Yes.
He already, I mean, he looked great. In fourth place, we had Mike Sommerfeld. Where did Mike place in the Olympia? Was he fifth?
Fifth, I believe. Fifth, because it was Chris, Ramon, Earth, uh, Brian, and yeah,
Then Mike.
and Mike.
He beat Terrence, right? Yeah, Terrence
Yeah,
was.
it was, I think that eight.
Yeah, Mike. I love his physique. It really looks old school to me, like old school classic bodybuilding. I like his shape. It's he's got a thickness to him and a fullness that I really like. I forget what I think. Does he have type 1 diabetes
Is it him? I'm not sure. I'm not sure,
or
but I'm not
something?
sure.
There's something that he's
Huh?
got that makes it hard for him to get quite to that. I don't know if it's diabetes or something else. Makes it hard for him to get super conditioned. At least that's what I think I
He
heard.
looked good. He looked good. He looked very good. He looked very,
Yeah, he
very good.
still looked good. I like him a lot. And I think
No,
his
no.
thing was good. Um, he's one of my favorites in the division.
He's a big guy. He's a very big guy. He's
Yeah.
a very big guy. He's big. He's big.
In third place was Alex Cavernero. Looked great.
Oh my God, Alex looked amazing. Alex, you know what? Alex does it. Alex never comes in off.
No,
He's always on. Even when he was 212, same thing. You know, and his shape is amazing. On certain shots, his back double is great. He has a great front double bicep. I mean, you know what? Between him and Hurst, I mean, Hurst won. Hurst, I mean, Hurst won. Got third, got, but second, sorry. But you know what? It wasn't that
no,
far
I agree
apart.
with you. I agree with you. He looked great. I think both he and Mike are coached by Neil Hill.
No,
Uh,
yeah,
he's
exactly,
killing
yeah.
it. Yeah, man, he's killing it in this division. I agree. Like there could have been if Alex had gotten second in the show, I wouldn't have been like, what?
No,
Like
no,
look
no.
really good. Um, and then there's Urs in second place. Urs, great charisma on stage, great posing. I love. He's like he reminds me a lot of in this way guys like um, Darren Charles and uh, God.
Cool.
Oh my
Poser?
God. Marvelous Marvin
Oh, Melvin.
Melvin Anthony and
Melvin.
and Chris
Chris Wall.
Cormier,
Chris Cormier, yeah.
not in that his dancing is as good
Yeah.
as those guys, but that he's able to pose classically, amazingly well, and then go into the more fun thing and not look stupid doing it. Like he does it well.
No. You know what? The thing with Urs is fun because you know what? You see, he loves bodybuilding.
Oh
He
yeah.
loves it. Oh, yeah. And remember, I know you saw that he got sick days before the show.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Yeah, he got sick, and for him to get sick, I think it was food poisoning,
food
and to
poisoning.
come back
Yeah.
and look the way he was. I mean, and that's the thing with Urs. We don't know. I mean, if it wasn't for the pictures, it looked amazing to me.
Yeah, we
But
never
here's the
have
thing with
known
him.
that there was anything
No,
wrong
no,
because
no,
he
no,
looked
no.
as good, if not better, than he's ever looked.
Better
So
than the
you would
Olympia.
never have
Yeah, yeah.
known.
And the thing is with him, he has, I don't know, I think he has like a little play for the weight cap. So he still can grow within the division, you know? And that's a good thing for him.
Yeah, now I know at the Olympia there was some question about Ramon making weight, but wasn't it correct? Didn't they realize that he was actually taller than they thought? So now he really isn't in danger, is he? Of like maxing out.
No, I think it was his height. I think that they hyped him at a certain height. Then they stretched him and he was
Oh,
able to get a little taller. Yeah, something like that. But the thing is, because okay, him, his weight cap is 220, 100 kilos, 220, you know? But the thing is, from Chris Aceto, he will look great at 230.
mhm.
So the 10 pounds he loses, because from what I heard, he came in on Monday at 230. He had 10 pounds to lose
Wow.
before the show.
Dude, how tall is he? He's about 5'10", 5'11".
5'10", about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 5'10".
Uh, wow. I mean, he's someone that could have a future in the open division for sure.
I mean, you know what? I mean, to me, because of the fact that he has a hard time making weight, to me, his classic days, he doesn't have 5 years in classic. He can't.
Mhm.
He can't. I mean, his classic days are like, I wouldn't say numbered to say like that, but he doesn't have 5 years in classic still. No, he's an open guy.
Yeah, he's got such full muscle bellies too that like he could fill out pretty well, I think.
Yeah,
I love his physique. One of my favorite
yeah.
physiques in the entire IFBB Pro League, any division. I just love his physique, man. I love his arms. I love his flow. I think he's amazing. I
The one
agree
thing he
with
needs to do, though, he needs to work on his posing.
yes. So
Yeah,
that's what I was
that's
going
the
to
thing.
say. I don't always agree with Arnold Schwarzenegger on what he says about the people and their posing and this and that and not having calves. You can't say that about Ramon. He's got calves, but he does need to hit the poses longer. That
Yeah, yeah,
he'll
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and some of it was the music choice where the poses were the beats of the song was like bam bam. It was fast, but he then they picked the wrong song. Like he needs to hit poses and let us go take it in and see what he's got because it's pretty amazing.
Because he has so much to show for.
Yeah,
So I mean, you know what? Probably like once he tweaks his posing, he's gonna look even more amazing. I mean, to me, Ramon right now is. I mean, Ramon and her is gonna be battling second and third for a long time,
yeah,
for sure, for sure, for sure,
yeah. I mean, I
for
don't
sure.
see him beating Chris Bumstead unless something happens to Chris or
No,
Chris.
I mean, yeah, you know, Chris is. You know what? Chris is in his own world, I would say, and until he decides to leave or like past Olympia, if he starts getting injured and it start, that's the only way. Because if he stays the way he is, he's not losing.
Yeah, he had that slight bicep tear this year right before the show. Happened like right before it.
Yeah,
Um, where he at first wasn't even sure. Like the swelling, I think, was actually happening the day of. Like
yeah,
at
yeah.
first, it hadn't even had time to swell beforehand, so it was kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But if he can take care of that and baby it, I'm sure that's going to heal. It was just a slight tear, wasn't a complete tear. Yeah, if he stays healthy and stays uninjured, I don't see anyone beating him just because his
No,
proportions are
no.
amazing, and he still can get bigger. That's what's
Yeah.
freaky.
And the thing is, even with the injury, he still came in good. And even great. He came in great.
Clearly won the show. Clearly won it, even with
Oh
a
yeah, clearly, clearly, clearly. Oh,
swollen
yeah, yeah.
bicep. Yeah,
So that's why it's Chris is in a class of his own, but the classic physique division have a lot of talent. I mean, I'll go back to what I said in our last thing about the Olympia. We had 58 guys in classic at the Olympia. There were at least 30 to 40 guys that looked amazing.
yeah, yeah.
30 to 40 guys that looked amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And a lot of people call it. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's only popular because of Chris Bumstead." I think that he has a huge yes, he's by far the most popular bodybuilder
Yeah,
right now.
for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
But when you have someone like Ramon, who is from Brazil and has a huge fan base from that country, and they're super loyal fans, and you have someone from like Urs from Germany, who also has a super strong fan base from that country, there's a lot of different people pulling eyes to Classic, I think, beyond Chris, although Chris is
Oh yeah,
still.
yeah. But you know what? Here's the thing, though. Chris, in a way, they're right. Chris drives that division, but there's so many talent in there that once Chris leaves, that division will be good. Even though Chris is the face of that division. The only thing that's funny now, people all want to see Chris do an open show. I'm like, I understand the appeal, but why would he? If that's my take, why would you risk it
Yeah,
when
there's
he
no
has
need.
health issues? There's no need
Right,
to.
right. There's no need.
And there's no need to. There's no need.
He's king of his world, and why go
Yeah.
into another? Yeah, there's
I don't
and
know.
like
I
you
don't
say,
know.
health issues. It's not
I don't
worth it.
know. It's not worth it because now, yes, he could do the open, do that one show, but what will it bring him exactly that he doesn't have now?
Right.
He has everything now. And would I love to see Chris in the open? Yes. But honestly, why?
I agree.
Why?
Yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, Ramon. Going back to this show, Ramon looked amazing. I thought, and a clear winner of the show.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about it. So I was really happy for him. Quickly, just to bounce off these other divisions, I'm gonna go to first night. The first day we had. I don't really know anything about wellness, so I'm not going to talk about wellness because I couldn't really
Okay,
understand.
about wellness, I'll say that Cassandra Cass, who's trained by one of my friends, who won the show. Canadian, she did amazing. She won the show.
Yes. Now I was watching very closely, and it was her and what's the name of the? I'm sorry.
Angela something.
Yes,
Angela
she was like
Border.
one of the big names in the
Yeah,
division.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I agreed with that. And now I'm going to sound like Arnold. For me, the calves played a big part. Angela's calves look a little. I don't know. I agreed with the winner in that show for sure.
Yeah,
And
but Cass are huge.
yeah,
They
and I thought they
huge,
looked great.
huge, huge,
They flowed
huge.
well. I mean, it was the right top two for sure.
Yes.
This was I don't know how much I can't speak to that division so much because I really don't love the division. I know a lot of people love it, but for me, just the asymmetry of it, the disproportionate butts just bother me. I don't know why.
But
I
you
don't
know
know.
what? Because right now, we're at the infancy of the division. So once it gets rolling, it's gonna change. And bro, I'm telling you, the girls are gonna get bigger. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna be even more disproportionate. You know.
Um, Fitness International. Ariel Kadar won her second title.
Yes.
That was 2 years in a row, right? Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
She looked great. I thought her physique was awesome. Jacqueline Baker, who placed second, also looked awesome. Jacqueline actually beat her in the physique round slightly. Had she had less points, and that's the better score. Jacqueline, to me, has she started off with, not to sound mean, but her physique was a weakness for her, and she's really turned it into a strength in this division. Her and Ariel were the clear number 1 and 2 to me, and it could have gone either way. They had very different types of routines where Jacqueline's got a dance background. Her stuff is so graceful and beautiful. And she does things that are hard moves, but they all look effortless because she's got the smile like it was effortless. But Ariel's routine was so strong, like this holding herself up with one, like her strength is so impressive.
Yeah, the strength moves.
So
I mean, you can see that she has her like a background of gymnastics. But she
yes,
still does those handstands and all that.
yeah,
Which is very, very hard.
she's only about
I
5 foot.
admire.
Was that
I admire that class because no, to be able to do all of that,
it's
all
amazing.
that while dieting, it's amazing.
And now they're coming in with conditioning that is like next level conditioning for the for the daytime show, and then at night they have to do these routines that you would think, man, they better have some glycogen in those muscles because I mean they're
I
doing
don't
some
know. I
intense
don't know they're
things.
making it. They're very good. I mean, they're very, very good.
Yeah, I love the top two of the show. I love both of them and their styles and their physiques. Jacqueline, like I said, improved her physique incredibly. Ariel, she's only 5 foot tall. Doesn't have the ability to have like the great shape of, let's say, a Missy Truscott, who is taller and has got the wide shoulders, but she's got these beautiful muscle bellies. I think gorgeous roundness to her. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I love her physique too.
And who got third? The girl that got third. What's her name?
Oh my
That got
gosh!
third.
So her name is Michelle. Let's see
Yes,
her
yes,
last name.
yes,
Michelle Freda Mensa.
yes,
And,
yes.
and
That's her.
and in fourth place was Allison Kramer. These girls, both of them, their physiques are amazing.
Amazing, amazing physique.
They were just not as
Oh yeah, yeah.
conditioned as the other two, as the top two, but their
But
shape,
structurally speaking,
muscle
yeah,
bellies,
crazy.
beautiful. And Allison is also just gorgeous. I think she's relatively new. I don't think she's been around for so long. I might be wrong.
No,
I don't know. At least new to placing like this at like the Arnold. Um, yeah, I thought the show was strong. The girl who placed last, I think, unfortunately, there was a stumble or something during her routine early on in
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That happened.
But everyone else, and that's got to happen. I mean, it must be so hard when that happens in front of like 4,000 people, and who knows how
Yeah,
many people are watching it on the stream. So I felt bad for
and
her,
also
but
on top of that, knowing that it's 66% of the score, so
yeah,
you know that if you stumble there, it's you go down hard.
yeah, it was tough. But I thought everyone looked good for the most part. The physiques were, it's a new level of physiques that you see now in fitness, um, which is impressive. Did you watch men's physique?
A bit. I saw Aaron Banks win.
What's that? Yes, he
I
did.
saw. I even. I saw him
Yeah,
win.
the
Don't tell
top
me.
three of the show were really, really impressive, I thought. And I don't usually get too much into the men's physique, but where is it? I have the whole list here. In
Yeah, I think Aaron Banks got first.
yeah, Aaron Banks got first, and he deserves it. He's amazing. But the top three were all real good. Diago
Yes,
Montenegro
yes.
from Brazil, crazy looking physique, man. That guy's upper body is nuts. He placed
And
second.
very small waist. His shoulders and
Yeah,
chest are huge.
yes. And in third place was Emmanuel Hunter, another guy whose waist is like this big, and it
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
great muscle bellies. The top three were super impressive. I think that division's gotten better over time. It's I just wish it was more exciting in terms of what they do on stage, but that's never going
Yeah,
to change.
because it's very.
They
It's
got to
not.
differentiate.
I have a different perspective, but you know what? The thing with Aaron Banks, he looks totally different from everybody else
Yeah,
because he doesn't look as muscular, but he's because he's taller, but he's so wide. His back is so wide. Yeah, yeah, it's so detailed.
yeah, and
You know?
amazing belts. Everything's great on him, man, and he seems like a really good positive
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, force of nature. I don't know. I like him. He's someone I can get behind. Um, in wheelchair again, we saw the great King Kong
Okay,
Kelly,
yeah.
Harold Kelly, win his sixth. This is his sixth
Six, I
Arnold
think
Classic,
six, yeah, six,
sixth Arnold
six.
Classic victory. He lost last year. The defending champion wasn't there this year. Gabrielle Andruli, I think is his name.
Yeah, okay.
But Gabriella Kelly got his victory over him at the Olympia, so he already surpassed him again. So
Yes, yes.
Harold, I thought, looked probably as good as ever, if not better than ever. He's very impressive. The top three of the show were all very good too. This
Yes. The guy that finished third, the guy from Montreal, Woody Belford. He's a guy from Montreal. He's a very good, very good. Not as big as King
He
Kong, but
plays fourth.
very defined. Third.
Wooding plays fourth.
With the fourth, sorry, fourth, sorry, fourth. Yeah,
Yeah.
fourth, sorry, fourth. Yeah.
What's his deal? His was the difference between him and most of these guys is his issue was a birth defect, as opposed
Yes.
to most of these guys are from injuries, from accidents of one sort or another.
Exactly.
So he's always been the way he is, and I think that's kind of, in some ways, a helpful thing. You know what I'm saying? That like, I don't
No,
know.
I get it. I get it.
I don't know. But Bradley Betts was third, and he's been pretty steadily doing very well for himself.
Yeah.
And second, it was this guy named Troy Jones, who I thought looked really good, and who I think can, in future years, possibly be an Olympia champion or an Arnold Classic champion in that division.
Yeah, he has a great physique. Yeah. I was surprised. I was surprised.
Did we talk about everybody? Oh, bikini we didn't talk about.
Oh no, we said okay. We just talked about Lorelli, but not about who got second and third.
Yeah. Let me find that.
Maureen got second. Maureen got second, is that it?
Maureen got second, and then third place was Jennifer Dory, I believe.
Jennifer Doria,
And
yeah.
fourth was Ashley Kaltwalser. They were
Yes.
clearly the top four to me. Although, and the girl who got sixth place was Ivana Escandar from Spain. I thought she looked great too. It was weird to me in that Maureen's physique, she's softer than all of them, has a different look than everyone. And I thought of the top four, she should either be fourth or first because she's so different. But they put her second, and I thought that was odd. As I was watching it, I had it between Ashley and Jennifer for first,
Okay.
then Laura Lee, and then Maureen. But I wasn't there. I was just watching on a big screen TV. And Laura Lee's always amazing, so I had no problem with her winning. I just found Maureen's placing odd because I thought she looked very different from the other three, and I would have put her either first or after them, not somewhere in the middle. It was my.
But it was good for Laura Lee. Laura Lee is got the won again for the second year in a row.
Yeah, I mean, she's great, and always
Yeah.
win the Olympia too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that those four will probably be the top four at the Olympia.
I guess so too. Yeah.
They're just amazing,
Yeah.
and Ashley's been doing it for so long, but she doesn't slow down. She does show after show after show, and to me, she was sharp, maybe too sharp, but I like that look. I mean, I think they have to look like professional athletes to me if they're up on a professional stage and there's money at stake. I thought that she looked sharp and good, and I don't know.
I don't know, but you know what? But Ashley's gonna win shows during the year. That's what she does. Gonna collect checks during the year.
Yeah, she'll probably win 6 or 7.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Crazy the amount of shows she does. Jennifer Dory will look beautiful as well. I'm not that Maureen. I'm not saying Maureen was horrible. I think she is a great bikini competitor, and she's gorgeous. I just had her beneath those other girls.
Yeah.
And
you know what, bikini? The thing with bikinis aren't that sensitive. You know what? Laura Lee got first there. She got fifth at the Olympia, like in December. She got number one there. So you never know how they ends up. You never know.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like they changed up their minds about what they're going for. But it's always Sandy is always the head judge of the women's things for the main shows.
Always.
But I don't know. It's odd to me.
I don't know what she's looking, but whatever. But these four girls were still the same four at the Olympia. So it's gonna be between these four girls for a while, I think.
Yeah, they're great. Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, no, I mean, like I said, for a show that was supposed to be in the beginning not good, ended up one of the best in a long time. And you know what? What's good? Before we finish, the Open is not dead, as what people say. It's well alive.
Yeah, it was clearly the main event. I mean, clearly the main event.
No.
There's so much talent now. And these are guys who let 2 years ago we were like, whatever. they were still finding their way. Now they're there, and
No, they're there.
man,
And
they
on
look.
top of that, we got open guys coming in, like I said, the Crizzos, the Quintons, and all that. So we have a new
Yes,
era coming in. So no, I mean the open is fine. The open is
I
fine.
can't wait to see Crizzo and Quentin this year. They're going to be amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, real quick, I want to compliment the whoever was in charge, whoever did it for them. The live stream looked great.
Amazing.
I had some problems on Friday, and that it would cut out on me occasionally.
Okay.
But the picture, when I had the picture, it was perfect. And then Saturday,
Perfect.
everything
Yeah.
ran smoothly. Both morning show and day show, I had no problems whatsoever, and it looked tremendous. I didn't hear Phil Heath. I think he was on something different. I don't know.
No, from what I heard, they had a problem because Phil and Nick Trujillo were supposed to put together, and they had a problem with the webcasting and all that, so they
Okay.
end up not being able to do it. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering because
Yeah.
they
No,
something that said that you
They
can
were
find you
supposed
could
to.
choose between which one you wanted to follow. I of course would have followed
No.
Phil.
It was supposed to be that, but they were
Okay.
not able, like some connection problem, whatever. Yeah.
But the guys that did it, I thought did an okay job. You know, I think there could be a little more charisma from some of them, and I would love it if they had someone from fitness to talk about the fitness stuff, because those routines,
Yeah,
it would
probably.
help
Yeah. You know
understand.
what? I think you know what I mean. It could always be better, but you know what? I mean, the cast is there. You know, Janet is good in bikini, but not so much bodybuilding. Like the guys are great at bodybuilding, not so much. But you know what? They were trying to mix and match. You know, the thing about one thing with Fuad, Fuad got emotional because what's his name, Samson, in the beginning did the same routine
On Saturday. Yeah,
that on
that was
Saturday.
kind of that was
That was nice.
nice.
That was nice. That was
That
nice.
was nice. I mean, I love see Samson. Everything about the guy makes me really like him. That he did
He's a
that
nice
for
guy.
his friend without saying anything about it beforehand. I thought that was
No.
really freaking cool. Seems like a
Yeah.
really great guy and a great representative for the sport. So I'm really happy for him, and I think I do think there's more than one Olympia title in his future.
You know, it's going to be a great Olympia. It's going to be something great in November.
All right, brother. Thank you for doing this with me.
All right.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, as long as it's nice, and tell your friends to follow as well. All right, thank you so much. For right now, it's Michael and Greg. Peace out. For This Is Body.
Peace out. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.